The Chiefs left day 2 with a steal with their 3rd selection, if you can say his name right. Let's talk about Khalen Saunders. For this video, I want to start with this. Now, Khalen, not Khalen Saunders, is a guy that I think actually Gunther probably would have liked quite a bit. Athletic, bursty, has the ability to really get after somebody in between the tackles or outside on the tackle as well. We're going to talk about him, hear from the coaches. And once again, this and all my draft coverage is brought to you by Insurance Incorporated as well as auto owners. For auto, home, business, travel, pets, anything that you need to insure, you need to give them a call. They're a great local company that is there to help you. Check out Insurance Incorporated. Khalen Saunders is a guy that lands on a Chiefs defensive front that is really, really well stocked, but not with the kind of player that he is. He is girthy, over 300 pounds, a short guy, a little over 6 foot, but a guy that is more explosive than he appears. He went to the Senior Bowl and dominated. One-on-ones with some of the top offensive linemen selected in this draft as well. And at the Senior Bowl, he proved that he's more than a big fish in a small pond. And at the Senior Bowl, he did more than just this. Now, that kind of athleticism is really interesting, and you don't see that very often. Body control, there's some things you can take away from that. It might be digging a little deep for what some people want to get into analysis of draft picks, but you don't see that every day. And it does go a long way to show that body control, ability to accelerate, to have that kind of explosive power is something that really fits into what you see Khalen Saunders do on film. And I think he's a guy that, despite all the signings along the edges, guys that can play end and have that rotation, while Agba can come inside as well, and maybe some of the other guys as well, really, you're looking at a heavy rotation at the defensive end spot, but the interior is going to feature Chris Jones pretty much predominantly. The question is going to be how often and who is going to wind up lining up next to him. Now, I still think Derek Nottie is in prime position to start this particular season, and I think his run defense is incredible. I think he's only going to get better in year 2, and he has shown more acceleration and a little more penetration ability than we really thought he was going to have. Now, that said, Khalen Saunders is a guy that can penetrate. He is a pass rushing defensive tackle. He's okay against the run, especially he was good at the level that he played with. I thought he gave up a little bit more against the run when he was at the Senior Bowl, but definitely at home rushing the passer. And I mean anywhere from a shaded 1 tech all the way out to a 7 at least. I don't know that I'd wind him up really wide, but you could. You don't want him to take on double teams. So he's not a guy that you're going to line up as a nose tackle over and over and over and just ask him to eat double teams all day. You can line up shaded into a gap and let him penetrate, let him take advantage of his quickness and his explosion. I think that's really what they see in him and what I want to see him do. It's a different mentality at defensive tackle. A lot of folks have been asking about Allen Bailey lately. And the difference is that Allen Bailey was a super strong guy that could take those double teams, let somebody else get after the quarterback. Khalen Saunders can attack the quarterback from the A or the B gap, and I think if you had to, you could even line him up wide, like you've seen them do with Chris Jones from time to time. The guy's skill set and athleticism go a very, very long way in making him adaptable to what they feel they need to do at any given time along that defensive front. So, a very positive pickup, I feel, for them and for this fit. We'll see how it develops through rookie camp and as they get ready to start OTAs. But drafted in the 3rd round, I thought that's a good spot for him. I had him a touch lower on my board personally because I think teams usually give a steeper discount for playing a division or 2 down. But we heard some positive things about where the Chiefs liked him, and this is the result. So as I've been doing lately, why don't we roll the audio and hear what the Chiefs had to say about him?
we certainly had the outcome that we were looking for tonight, and we were really ecstatic about it. But again, it really goes all back to the scouting staff I have. I mean, they're just a great group of guys, and they were super excited. Talk about our 3 picks tonight, and then our final pick of the night, 384, was for Khalen Saunders. And all 3 of these guys are really, really good football players. And had you told me before the night started we'd end up with these 3 players, I wouldn't have believed it, because we had all 3 of these guys, high 2s, and to get 2 of them into, and then to have the Saunders kid fall to 3, we were really surprised that he was still on the board. He was a guy that was in the mix at 63. So again, all 3 of these players should come in here and provide an immediate impact, and should see the field soon. And then you can't have enough of athletic DTs, and that defensive line now. We were looking at our 2 deep roster, and you had Frank Clark, and then you had a Saunders, and then an Ogba in the offseason, and Okafor, and Chris Jones, and Derek Nottie, and Breland Speaks, and Tano, and we looked at that defensive line right after the draft, and we were all smiling. So the board kind of went just kind of like we thought. I think the one surprise was that Saunders was still available, and we had him kind of right in that mid 2 to low 2 level, and the fact that he fell to 3, we were kind of like, wow. I mean, there was a big gap when we were picking in that 3rd round, and he was the highest name on the board. So that was a pleasant surprise for us, and I know Coach Daly was happy, and Spags was happy. So that was a lot of fun to end the night like that.
So a lot of positive comments, and I think you can get the idea that I do, that the future's bright for Khalen Saunders in Kansas City, and I think he's going to get a lot of opportunity in a good, varied amount of ways. Let me know what you think. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe and the notification bell. Leave me your opinion down in the comments, and if you like what I'm doing, give me that thumbs up. It goes a long way. It really does. I'm excited for what this rotation is going to become, and it's going to be something they're going to have to lean on, because as it stands right now, the way the team is structured, the power is all up front. There are still a little bit to be done in the back. There's some talent back there, but the talent is definitely faced forward on this particular defense as it stands right now, despite rumors and everything else that we won't get into. But how do you feel right now overall? Let me know in the comments. And I'm going to be back. We're going to continue to do these Monday night Q&As. They're live on Monday nights, 7 Arrowhead time. And you can catch them on replay as well. I'm also going to be making a couple of changes over on the podcast channel. So if you're getting that, make sure you keep that up. That's great to see that channel grow with basically no advertising. We're doing the podcast continually, and I'm going to start adding another. I'm considering doing a beer podcast, so let me know what you guys think of that idea as well, and I'll try to keep it separate from the football channel. But upcoming videos, going to talk about some of the other guys that were selected, where they're going to fit in, and eventually we're going to get to the UDFAs. So I think this is a group that's going to go into OTAs, and as we get through it, we'll get more and more. So I'll keep covering that. Make sure you keep supporting the folks that support me and Insurance Inc. Thanks for watching today, and I'll catch you next time.